Alright, you guys, this is reminding you how to do the difference quotient. We need that to do section 12.2 and 12.3. And actually for the rest of it's chapter 12, so it really is focusing on these two sections, but we will need it for the rest of the year. This is the difference quotient here. We've practiced it in isolation without doing the limit. So all I'm saying is you have practiced this, and now all we're going to do is add to it, taking the limit as h goes to 0. The reminder that I need to give you guys in doing these is focus on this much of it first. Write your function without the variable, put parentheses in place of the variable, then fill into it the x plus h. So I'm going to put in here x plus h. So that's 3x plus 3h minus 5. That's f of x plus h. Now I need to subtract the original function. Here's the original function, and I'm going to subtract it. Be careful, because you're subtracting the whole thing, that this subtraction symbol is going to distribute into both pieces. So I have minus 3x plus 5. Now collect like terms. 3x minus 3x minus 5 plus 5, you're left with 3h. Over h, your answer is 3. Now, all I've done is what I've put in the box here. I still have the limit as h, whoops, oh my goodness, I'm just going to erase that. And it's just, there we go. The limit as h goes to 0 of 3. Well, you should step back and go, wait a minute, there is no h. So even if I let it go to 10, it's still going to give you 3. Okay? So regardless, there is no h in the problem, so the limit is going to be 3. It should be like, okay, that's initially like, how do I do it? But then it should become obvious of, well, wait a minute. Doesn't matter what h goes to. There isn't an h in the problem, so it's 3. What you just found is slope. You found the slope. Well, this is just a line, isn't it? Whoops, looks like line. Did you need to go through all that work to find slope of a line? No, it's this number right here. I'm just doing that to help illustrate that this is actually finding slope. All right. The symbol for this whole thing is f prime of x. This is finding the slope. Okay? We need to find f prime. That's what this whole thing does. All right? So here it goes. It's also called the first derivative. First derivative. Derivative. It's the first derivative. You can have a second, third, fourth, fifth. You can have multiple derivatives. This is the first derivative. We've got to find you. You got to start you out somewhere before you can't start out doing the second derivative. So we got to start you out doing the first derivative. Okay. So here goes. We're going to go through that whole process again with this thing. This is a parabola, and you're looking for what is the slope on the parabola. And you guys should notice that the slope isn't fixed. It isn't constant. The only place where you have a constant slope is on a line. This ain't a line, so it's not going to have a constant slope. The slope is going to depend on where you're standing. Okay, so let's first take the derivative. Write the function without the variable, put a parenthesis in place of the variable. Then fill into it x plus h. Now, you guys should remember you can't distribute over adding and subtracting. So x plus h squared means x plus h times x plus h. Now, I'm hoping that you're remembering the shortcut. Square the first thing, multiply together and double, square the last thing. Okay, you could FOIL it, but I'm hoping we're past FOIL. Now we got 2 times all of this. So 2x squared plus 4 xh plus 2h squared plus 3x plus 3h minus 5. Now, you need to subtract, so this pattern was f of x plus h minus f of x. I need to subtract f of x from it, so I need to subtract all of this from it. So minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 5. I subtracted all this from it. So what I'm left with is 4xh plus 2h squared plus 3h. Now we need to take that answer and divide it by h. So I'm going to divide it by h. So I got 4x plus 2h plus 3, because an h cancels out in each of these. Now, you need to take the limit as h goes to 0. Wherever there's an h, let it be 0. So I have 4x plus 2 times 0 plus 3. So I'm left with 4x plus 3. This is the first derivative of this equation. This is an equation for the slope anywhere on that parabola. Cool. So there we go. What if you have this? All right. You start out by writing the function without the variable. Fill in x plus h. Okay, not much happens. How about I rewrite it as 2x plus 2h minus 5. All that's in the denominator. Subtract the original function. The original function was 3 over 2x minus 5. Okay, now this gets kind of messy and gets to be kind of a pain. But you guys know how to get a common denominator. I'm going to move this subtraction upstairs so I don't lose it. And I have to multiply by what it needs, top and bottom, to get that denominator. This one needs 2x plus 2h minus 5 over 2x plus 2h minus 5. I'm multiplied by 1. This one needs a 2x minus 5. Okay, this becomes 6x minus 15 minus 6x minus 6h plus 15 over your LCD, but let's just simplify the top. This cancels out with this cancels out with this, and I have minus 6h upstairs over, I'm just going to write your LCD, okay, because I'm lazy and I don't feel like rewriting these two things. But this piece and this piece are your LCD, okay? Now I have to divide it by h. Dividing by h is the same thing, so dividing by h is exactly the same thing as multiplying by 1 over h. Would you agree? Times 1 over h. This h cancels, and I'm left with negative 6 over your LCD. Now what's left is I have to take the limit as h goes to 0 of negative 6 over, so if this is my LCD, 2x minus 5 times, I'm going to let h go to 0, 2x plus 2 times 0 minus 5. This washes out, and notice I have 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5. So my limit is negative 6 over 2x minus 5 squared. That's my derivative. That's what this is called. So, okay, I know getting common denominators is kind of a pain. It's been since first quarter since we've done it, but you guys still know how to do it. It's there. You just have to dust it off. All right, let's try this one. Find the first derivative using this. All right, first thing I got to find is f of x plus h. So write the function without the variable. In this spot, you have to put x plus h. Then subtract the original function, which was the square root of x minus 4. Whoops. Then you have to divide it all by h. Okay, I can't combine these. And right now, if I take the limit as h goes to 0, notice that what you would get is the square root of x minus 4 minus the square root of x minus 4 over 0. The top is 0 over 0. That's the indeterminate form. So the fix for this is kind of awkward, but it works. Do you guys remember if you had 3 over 5 minus the square root of 7? If you guys had that, you had to find its conjugate and multiply by its conjugate, which would be 5 plus the square root of 7. 5 plus the square root of 7. So the top would be 15. That's times, right? Okay. 15 plus 3 square roots of 7. This, or these, are a difference of square pattern. So you square the first thing minus square the second thing. Okay, so that's how you would do this. This is no different. It's just more complicated. I'm going to multiply by its conjugate. Okay, now it is rationalized. It does have the square root on top, but it turns out if I can get the square root on the bottom, it'll work. I know, all this time you've been fighting to get square roots on top, and here I'm telling you to put the square root on the bottom. So here goes. Its conjugate is going to be x plus h minus 4 plus the square root of x minus 4. And you're multiplying by the same thing, top and bottom. The top isn't as bad as it looks. That's the difference of square pattern. Now remember, say you had 3 minus the square root of 2 times 3, whoops, it's a paren, 3 minus the square root of 2. Let me clean that up a little. The shortcut for this, don't foil it. Yeah, if I asked you to foil this, that would be really awkward. But I'm trying to get you guys past, I'm trying to get your training wheels off. Foiling this, whoops, foiling this would be your training wheels are still on. The process I've been pushing is that you just do the shortcut, which is you square the first thing minus square the second thing. This is no different. It looks really different, but it's still the difference of square pattern. So you square the first thing. Square root of x plus h minus 4 squared is just x plus h minus 4. Minus, just like I did here, minus square the second thing, x minus 4. Take the parentheses off. Simplify it, and you're left with h. That's all that's left upstairs. H, that's it. Over h on the bottom times your conjugate. This is times here. Times the conjugate. H times this thing. This is a product, so I can cancel it. Now keep in mind, when you cancel, a 1 is in its place, so it's 1 over the conjugate. Square root of x plus h minus 4 minus, plus square root of x minus 4. Now, you're at the point where I need to take the limit as h goes to 0. So I need to take the limit as h goes to 0 of 1 over the square root x plus h minus 4 plus, whoops, I'm not writing my fraction very well. Let me write the fraction better. Plus the square root of x minus 4. Take the limit as h goes to 0. This is going to be filled into 0, so this is wiped out. And you've got 1 over the square root of x minus 4 plus the square root of x minus 4. That's 1 over 2 square roots of x minus 4. This is the slope anywhere on this curve. Okay? Now, I really need to encourage you guys, don't take shortcuts when you're doing this, except for the conjugate part. Okay? Yeah, take that shortcut. But I don't want you right now to make any generalizations about this. You need to be careful. Okay? You may think, oh, it's just 1 over twice that. Be real careful, guys. You're going to be getting some problems where that's not going to be the case, and you're not going to understand why. I really need to push you guys to show your work and do this. Now, all y'all that are really reticent to showing your work, this is when it's going to come and kill you. You guys have been, no, I got to do it in my head, got to do it in my head. You can't. You can't keep track of this in your head. Okay? You have to be able to show me in a logical progression how you get there. All right? Okay, I think that's the last thing. This is your homework. You guys are to fill this out. For example, let's do this one first. I want you just to find f of x plus h. So that would be x plus h squared plus 6. So that would be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 6. That's the answer for f of x plus h part. then subtract the original function from it. So you got x squared plus 2xh plus h squared plus 6. Now I need to subtract x squared and a minus 6. So cancel, cancel. So this is your answer for the f of x plus h minus f of x. So that's the top. So minus 2 plus 2. It's a plus. Okay, plus 2xh plus h squared all over h is going to give you 2x plus h squared. Right? Feels like I missed something. No, that canceled. No, I'm fine. I'm good. Okay. Now you need to take the limit as h goes to 0 of 2x plus h. Let h squared. Nope. I made a mistake. I knew there was something funny going on. This reduced here to 2x and there to h. Whew. Okay. Let h go to 0 and you're left with 2x. That's the slope anywhere on this curve, on that parabola. That's what you guys are doing for this. Okay? That's how you fill this sucker out. Thanks for your time.